Welcome to Juran Institute's Quality Tools and Tutorials series, VOC CTQ Matrix. In this quick tutorial, we will review the definitions of voice of the customer and critical to quality measures. We will explore how voice of the customer can be translated into critical to quality measures and review the process of developing a VOC CTQ matrix. We will complete this tutorial by practicing with an example. First, we must define these terms so that we share a common understanding. Voice of the customer. Also known as VOC, the voice of the customer identifies the needs and requirements of both internal and external customers. It is a fundamental step in defining what is considered critical to quality. Critical to quality measures, also known as CTQs, are measurable key characteristics of the service or process that must be improved to meet customer needs. Understanding CTQs enables a team to satisfy customer requirements in measurable terms and to know how good is good as it relates to the problem the team is trying to solve. Now that we have a clear understanding of these elements, we need to ask ourselves, how do we translate the voice of the customer into measures considered critical to quality? At a high level, there are three major steps to defining customer CTQs. The first step is identify the customer or customers that are impacted by the problem or process you are addressing. Remember, when we say customer, we are referring to both internal and external participants. For example, although a patient is an external customer and a nurse is an internal customer, they are both customers to the process in some form. The next step is to discover and prioritize the list of customers. You may have some customers with a greater stake in the process, and these customers should take priority. At this time, a list of customer needs, considered voice of the customer, should be developed. The information gathered when collecting the voice of the customer will act as the foundation of our critical to quality measures. Thus, it is vital to collect pertinent and reliable information. This data set can be collected in a number of ways, some of which may include customer surveys, customer interviews, or existing data sources. Once the voice of the customer has been collected, you will likely have a large amount of varied information. To organize the varied comments, we place them into affinity groups. The affinity process is a way to organize large amounts of data into logical categories. To create affinity groups, the team should sort through all of the comments, placing them into like groups. By developing these affinity groups, the team will have a more manageable understanding of the voice of the customer, and the information will begin to expose what we call key themes. Key themes are meant to capture the true need of the customer as indicated by their comments. Oftentimes, the verbatim response of a customer may not adequately describe their underlying true needs. It is the job of a project team to analyze the voice of the customer comments to fully understand the needs and requirements of their customers. Now that we have a prioritized list of customers, sufficient voice of the customer, and have identified the key themes, we must translate these themes into measures considered critical to quality. Remember, when identifying CTQs, you must ensure that they are measurable reflections of the process in operational terms. Oftentimes, the CTQs may reflect specific requirements. For example, if the key theme is turnaround times for lab results, the CTQ may reflect a requirement of same-day turnaround for results. In this case, the percentage of lab results received same day may be an appropriate CTQ. Now that we have a high level of understanding of how the voice of the customer is translated to CTQs, let's see how a common tool, the VOC CTQ Matrix, can be used to document this information. First, we identify a list of the internal and external customers of the process. In this case, we are observing customers A, B, C, and D. Secondly, we can rank our list of customers to ensure we consider that some customers have a greater stake in the process than others. Next, the corresponding voice of the customer feedback is to be recorded in the following column. The affinity process can then be utilized to organize the voice of the customer into logical categories that become our key themes. Finally, we translate these key themes into specific measurable requirements, also known as critical to quality measures. Note how the VOC CTQ matrix follows the high-level process of translating voice of the customer into CTQs. Now, let's try filling out a VOC CTQ matrix for the process of drawing labs. First, we identify a list of the internal and external customers of this process. Next, we rank the customers from 1 through 6. The top-ranked customer is the patient. You record the verbatim voice of the customer response, which in this case is the desire to know results as soon as possible and know for certain that the results are correct. Next, our key theme is identified: fast lab results and accurate results. We use this to translate the voice of the customer into the CTQ, which in the case of the patient is lab order turnaround time and percentage of accurately reported results. Our second customer is the patient family. Voice of the customer is recorded. Waiting for lab results seems to be the biggest delay every time we visit the hospital. They want to know what's wrong with the family member. Key themes are identified. Once again, fast lab results and accurate results, which allow us to translate to our CTQ, which is once again lab order turnaround time and percentage of accurately reported results. In the case of the laboratory customer, the VOC recorded chronic delays often happen because specimens get mixed up or are unlabeled. Also, some are not logged in the system, leading to additional confusion. Our key themes from the voice of the customer is conformance to specimen collection and handling procedures, which translates to the CTQ, percentage of specimens drawn that are accurately labeled, and percentage of specimens drawn that are logged in the system. Our fourth ranked customer is the attending MD. In this case, the verbatim voice of the customer indicates that the attending MD needs accurate lab results to provide the most accurate diagnosis possible for the patient. Also, since the patient is the #1 concern, the greatest concern is that the patient gets the care they need and have a positive experience. From this, we draw our key themes: fast lab results, accurate results, and also a positive patient experience. Our CTQ, as determined by this process, is lab order turnaround time, as well as percentage of accurately reported results. In the case of the lab tech, our fifth ranked customer, the recorded voice of the customer indicates that the staff in the lab is so busy that they often leave their lab stations a mess. Also, equipment is unreliable. The key themes drawn from this are conformance to specimen collection and handling procedures, and reliable equipment. Our CTQ, the percentage of specimens drawn that are accurately labeled, the percentage of specimens drawn that are logged in the system, and the number of equipment failures. And finally, our sixth ranked customer in the process, the referring MD, wants to know that they are sending patients to a reliable facility that will care for them as well as they do. They also want their patients to be satisfied with the referral because they are trusted to do so. From this voice of the customer, we can draw our key themes, which are lab turnaround time, lab results accuracy, accurate diagnosis, and positive patient experience, which finally translate to our CTQs, lab order turnaround time, and the percentage of accurately reported results. If you would like to learn more about Juran Institute and our services, please visit us at our website, www.juran.com. You may also reach us by calling our 800 number, 1-800-338-7726, or emailing us at info@juran.com. If you found this webinar helpful, please feel free to view our other tools and tutorials by visiting and subscribing to our YouTube page. You may visit it via the following link, www.youtube.com/Juran Institute. You may also be interested in reading and subscribing to our blog, The Big Q, on current quality issues and topics at www.juran.com/blog. You can also follow us on Facebook by searching for Juran Institute, or Twitter by searching The Big Q. Thank you for your time.